I'm going to get some heat in the comments, and probably from you as well. But Peacock TV has been like one of the sleepers that I honestly can't live without because of the shows that I like to watch. They're all on there, you know? And Peacock just has a lot of good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My content consumption subscription.
I just wouldn't watch that just for the name alone, just on principle. Like, it just sounds stupid. Like, what?
It does.
You couldn't
I'm
have
not
come up with a better
name.
name than that. You couldn't have come up with a better name than Peacock TV. Overtime, 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 overtime. It's overtime, it's overtime, overtime, overtime. So first and foremost, we have a new email address. It is overtime@9to5mac.com. So if you have any questions, comments, just anything you want to communicate to us, both this email address will go to us both. We'll be able to read your email, and at the end of the show, we'll actually read a few user mail submissions on air. So overtime at 9to5mac.com.
And nothing is off limits. Ask questions, like you said, comments. Ain't no dumb questions out there either. So whatever you guys can think of. It doesn't even have to be tech related. Just ask away.
Yeah, for sure. So 26.4 beta 2 came out.
Got the drop.
To very, very little fanfare because there just wasn't that much in that release. Yeah, so we did see some things on a little bit digging through the code. Saw some differences with regard to the fact that the permission prompts will now have a redesign. It's not there yet, but that's something that Apple's working on. They're working on redesign permission prompts with a sheet view now instead of a little pop-up that comes up. So hopefully that'll just make those more useful somehow. But yeah, so that looks like something that they're working on. We also saw some things with regard to the studio display. And so it appears that the studio display will have some kind of touch capability, which kind of falls right in line with everything else we've been talking about recently with the MacBook, but it'll have at least some form of touch, whether that be actual touch screen or capacitive touch buttons or a combination of both. That is something that is going to be in the cards. And there's also the two studio display models. It appears that the only difference between them is the audio module for the audio driver. So that indicates that the two displays are going to be basically the same, except obviously just a difference in size, pretty much.
Okay. I'm interested to know, like you said, what type of touch interaction there's going to be with a studio display, right? It'd be crazy for Apple to go full tilt on a 27-inch full touchscreen display, in my opinion. That sounds kind of far-fetched, but who knows these days?
Yeah, and I mean, and of course with firmware upgrades, because this thing is supposed to be powered by an A19 chip. Or A18, I can't remember right off the top of my head. But regardless, you have the ability for firmware updates and to really do some extra crazy stuff there.
No, yeah. I mean, even now, like I said, I've been playing around with the MacBook, with Mac OS, but I still find myself kind of like, because I'm so used to having the trackpad, if I'm showing like trackpad with one hand and then my other hand kind of like reaching for the screen with my thumb for like quick little things that I'm used to. Yeah. I find myself doing that with the MacBook. So...
I find myself touching my MacBook screen sometimes, thinking that it's a touchscreen, forgetting that it's not touchscreen.
Yeah. Which, I mean, maybe a little segue into what we might be expecting. So supposedly, to contextualize it a little bit, we're supposed to be getting the M5 Pro, M5 Max MacBook Pros relatively soon, hopefully in this like March 4th event experience week or whatever. But then towards the tail end of the year, we're supposed to be getting the M6 redesigned MacBook Pro, and that one is supposed to have a touchscreen, which is very interesting. And I just think it's like I've always said that these operating systems are kind of converging together, and at some point you're just going to pick your form factor and then run with it, whether it's iPhone, iPad, or MacBook. And I think this is kind of like going in that direction, where Mac OS is going to have, and it's going to adopt some of those iPad OS 26 tendencies to allow for a touchscreen experience that isn't just kind of like your finger trying to act like a cursor pointer, because I know that Windows computers do that and it's horrendous. The experience is so bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like I like the idea of having touch available on the Windows machine. I mean, I don't disagree with the actual user interaction, but I do disagree with the UI. Like,
Yeah.
it's terrible. And so this seems like, from this latest Bloomberg report, it says if users touch a button or control, the interface will bring up a new type of menu surrounding their finger that provides more relevant options for touch commands.
Which makes
cool.
sense. I mean, have you tried have you played with a new Logitech MX Master 4?
I have not.
So they have that. They added like a touchpad haptic like motor in the new mouse, and then when you press that button, depending on what application you're in, you'll get a contextually relevant kind of like sub menu that surrounds the mouse. So I mean, their example is in Photoshop to like get your 5 most used tools around you so you have quick access to it. So I'm envisioning that, and similar maybe to like what Samsung did with their S Pen, where you kind of like hover over, press a button, shows up. Apple's did it with the Apple Pencil now, with the Apple Pencil Pro 2. So I think Apple's kind of been, I don't know, it makes me feel more and more like the iPad has been kind of like this testing ground for the eventual transition to add all the touchscreen capabilities from the iPad to a Mac, which I think is what's going to be happening at the end of the year.
Yeah, very interesting. It goes on to say that the software will also display the most appropriate set of controls based on users' prior interaction, and if a person taps an item in the menu bar at the top of the screen, the set of controls will enlarge to be more easily selectable with the finger, which is like going back to the whole Microsoft or Windows thing. Like, it didn't do that, right?
No.
So this, this is definitely not like just trying to imagine trying to touch like the small little Wi-Fi indicator in the menu bar. That would just be difficult. But
exactly, getting
a interface that's specifically designed around finger touch interaction was going to be a better solution to that, for sure.
And again, the iPad is doing that with iPad S26. If you go to those like the traffic light controls to like minimize, X out, or enlarge, if you use your finger, it'll like you tap it once in that area and it makes it a little bit bigger, so you have a bigger touch radius or touch point, so you aren't accidentally touching something random.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is like slowly going to come over to Mac OS to make this a viable option, because I know that Apple, I'm sure, knows the failures of Windows and how annoying that's always been. And even when people try to like replicate Mac OS on or a Mac OS environment on the iPad, it's still kind of broken when you use your finger, because it's still trying to just mimic the cursor pointer.
Yeah,
Apple.
Yeah.
So if Apple brings that natively, it'll definitely help out the experience.
One example of that is DaVinci Resolve. Like, and I appreciate the fact that basically they ported the Mac version of DaVinci Resolve to the iPad. I mean, it's like almost an exact replica of the Mac version, but that comes with the downsides of like having that touch interaction. And so
do you want a touchscreen Mac?
Do I want a touchscreen Mac? I can't say that that's something I've been longing for. No. I mean, every now and then, like I said, I do reach out and touch my MacBook screen just because I forget it's not an iPad. But I don't know. I don't think it's something that I want. But maybe Apple will show me that it's something that I want.
My whole thing is like, I think they're going to have to make the hinge on the laptop like extra rigid. Because, I mean, the displays on laptops are just like so thin. They're like paper thin at this point. So if you just like lightly tap it, it's going to wobble like crazy. You know what I mean? That
being said, I mean, I just touched it on this. I mean, this is the M1 MacBook Pro, M1 Max MacBook Pro. And there is a little wobble there, but it's pretty rigid. It's pretty. I don't know. I don't think this. I mean, it moves. Obviously, you're touching it, but it's not like it's not like one of those things. One of those things in the used car parking lot where it's like
the flailing balloons.
Yeah, it's not one of those things. So it's yes, I think it's pretty good. They may I guess reinforce it a little bit. I guess that could make sense. But
So interesting. Let's see what happens there. And then I'm curious to know again how Apple kind of positions everything. What does it mean for the iPad Pro specifically? How much of the features are coming over to Mac OS that are touchscreen enabled? Like, are they just gonna I think it's gonna end up being a net negative for the iPad Pro. Oh, my dog just opened the door. Give me 1 second.
Oh no, let him stay. Oh.
No, I'm letting him stay. I'm just closing the door. So
okay.
Opening and closing the door. And he's able to, because I got the door knobs that have the handle. I have a door handle.
Oh, he's one of those.
And
smart.
And if the door goes in, he can open the door.
Sweet.
What are you doing? Let's see. There he is. Ugh.
Awesome. This is exactly what we needed this morning.
How
How heavy is he?
Like 25 pounds.
Oh, okay.
25, yeah, something around there. Relax, big guy. You can hit my microphone. But yeah, we're chilling. But what were we saying? Oh yeah, so I'm curious to know what's going to happen to the iPad in that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Like in what you mentioned last week about the new MacBook, like that's also encroaching on the iPad. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think like if it's the same company that's cannibalizing, like if it's your own self that's cannibalizing because you're making a product that is satisfying the wants of your customer base and brings something new to the table, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Because then people are just going to buy that instead of the other thing that you also make. So,
yeah. No, yeah, and that seemed to be a lot of the sentiment in the video that I made. It's like people were like, "Oh, now I only need to bring one piece of hardware with me to like class or to work. I don't have to bring both of them and take up more space in my backpack." So, I guess there is a want to kind of consolidate both devices into one to an extent, you know?
Yeah, very much so. I'm laughing at the dog. I don't know if they can see. Yeah. They may be able to see. Maybe. Doubt it.
No, they can't. They can't see him on the camera. Yeah. You see him on the FaceTime, don't you?
Yeah, he's jumping up there. He's on his. I love those dogs, man.
You should get one.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard they're temperamental.
If the door knocks or somebody rings the doorbell, yeah, he's barking. He's barking until he figures out what's going on.
Well, that's a
but
good
other
thing.
than that, he's pretty chill.
Yeah,
you know, he just sleeps all day. He's the. What I say is Shibas are like the cats of the dog world. They clean themselves. They sleep all day. They shed a little bit. And that's pretty much it.
Well, I did want to talk briefly about the Galaxy S26, the new privacy display feature. That looks really cool.
I thought it was cool too.
That looks really cool, man. Like, there's no way. I don't care if you're an Apple fanboy or what the case may be, but that's an innovation. Like Samsung often comes up with these really gimmicky things. Like, I mean, they are known for their gimmicks. Like
for sure,
they come out with some of the most ridiculous gimmicky things that are just like throw everything at a wall, like spaghetti at a wall, see what sticks, basically.
Yeah, and they've done that for like 20 years. At least,
and it's just, and every now and then though, one of those little silly things actually is really cool, and this is one of them. Privacy display feature at the pixel level, it is able to basically make it so that when someone views your phone off axis, they're not able to see it. Just like goes dark. So like sort of like those little privacy shields that people put on their phone, but much better because you can control it at the pixel level. So you can actually make it only activate for notifications, or you can make it only activate when you're using certain applications, or you can even like geofence it so that it only turns to privacy mode when you're in a certain location. It's really cool.
And I mean, I haven't like dug into like how it does it because I don't understand how it's doing it, right? Because apparently the person, so like if it's my phone, my Samsung phone, I can see it. And like you said, similar to the physical screen protector, the offset person can't. So I'm wondering what magic is going on underneath from a pixel standpoint that it knows to reduce the viewing angles of what the pixel is showing, right? Maybe it's only lighting up like the direct pixel that's going to be like a 0 degree lookup at you. I don't know.
So, yeah, I just think it's one of those innovations that I hope Apple copies.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's one of those features that other manufacturers are going to quickly copy because it just makes sense. And if it's easy to implement, then why not, you know?
I feel like there's got to be some net negative to that, though, like from a technical standpoint. And again, I haven't really researched how it works technically. I should. So I don't really know the ins and outs, but I feel like there is some sort of compromise that will be made from that. I'm not sure, but I would love to see this on the Mac. Like if you're in an airplane, like you're working on your Mac, it's always really awkward. Even though I'm not typing anything important. Yeah. It's like I'm typing like an article for the blog for 9 to 5 Mac, and it's just like, okay, why are you looking at my screen? Like,
no, for sure.
Just like it's
and even, dude, even I catch myself for no reason, like looking over somebody's shoulder on the subway. watching them play like Candy Crush for no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you just can't help it.
like your eyes just like wander and like, oh, there's a screen. Let me see what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is cool though.
Yeah. I'll be happy if they bring that over. But I also think is it only on the Ultra phone, on the S26 Ultra? I think that's what they said.
I don't know, but I would think so. Yeah, because that's one of the flagship features. It doesn't appear that phone really got a whole bunch of upgrades. Like it got the new Snapdragon processor. It did get this really cool feature where it almost like turns your phone into a gimbal. So I think it was Danny. I can't remember who.
Widget?
Yeah, I think that's who posted. But basically, he's holding his phone and he's recording, and then it didn't matter if he moved like this at all; it would stay locked on that frame. Right? It was the horizon would stay locked, so just like a gimbal. Yeah. And he did that, and then he showed the result, and it was just like locked right on the horizon. So that's another cool little innovation that Samsung has. Yeah.
I guess I can see a good, maybe like it's probably like an action mode, but I wonder if action mode would do that. Probably not, right? Like the gimbal, the stabilization of being locked into somebody.
Yeah, not to that degree. Yeah, this is like a dedicated setting just for locking the horizon, like you said, a dedicated gimbal mode, which is interesting. So yeah, there's the Galaxy
Samsung,
S26 Ultra. And
do you have any Android phones or no?
I do not. No.
I feel like I asked you that the other day.
I used to, but I do not. I no longer have any.
What's the last one that you dabbled in?
Oh man, I can't even tell you. It's one of the Galaxy phones. I think it's one of the Galaxies. It was like is there such thing as a S20? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is the S20, the S20 Ultra, and all that.
Maybe that was the last one. Yeah. So
yeah. But yeah, that's what Samsung released. That was a big one. That's a big like tech thing that happened this week. And then, and also, do you use a password manager by chance?
I do.
Which one what do you use?
I use 1Password, but even prior to the recent news of their price hike, I have started weaning myself off of 1Password and started migrating everything over to the Passwords app. So I'd say I use the Passwords app for 90% of my password needs, and 1Password for that 10% that I've still been too lazy to migrate over.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I'm actually thinking about rolling out my own password manager. I know that's probably the dumbest thing, but I have a Mac Mini and I've been like just trying to use
dabbling.
Yeah, been dabbling. So that's another project I'm kind of working on. But what about you? Like, do you use a password manager?
I use like Apple Passwords and then whatever like Chrome, whatever browser has like built like the autofill password stuff.
Yeah.
I've been using the Comet browser, which is built off of Chrome, or Chromium, which is the same thing. But yeah, it's pretty much that, and then whatever Apple has. I used 1Password and like first came out almost like decades ago now at this point, but I haven't used it recently. I don't know. I haven't found the need to pay for it, I guess. So have you been paying for 1Password?
Technically, I guess. Oh, okay. So here's like my account's actually suspended now because it's like it's not suspended, but it's frozen because I guess I stopped paying for it, and so you basically it's so you can like view everything you have in there, but you can no longer edit it.
Okay.
Or add stuff.
That makes sense.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I was a 1Password subscriber for a while, and I just like. I don't know. There's benefits to 1Password for sure. Any sort of third-party password utility, because it's platform agnostic. So you could use it on Windows. You can use it on Android. So with Apple passwords, you're sort of kind of locked into the Apple ecosystem.
For sure.
So that's one of the advantages. 1Password does have a lot more features as well. Like, for instance, being able to put in like serial keys for software. And saving those serial keys, being able to have like notes, although Apple has kind of made that a little possible now. And of course, one of the big things was one-time passwords, which Apple Passwords now does, but it didn't initially. So you could have
one-time passwords.
You know those little codes, like the 6-digit codes to log in.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, like an authenticator situation.
Yeah. So it's no longer like Apple Passwords. At one point, was not able to have those two-factor authentication where you would log in, where you use the QR code and stuff like that. But they did roll that out not too long ago. So that was a big one, though. That was one of the big ones. Like once they did that, yeah. Well, once Apple Passwords did that, I was like, okay, I can start migrating stuff over back to Apple Passwords. So, yeah. I don't know. I like 1Password, to be honest with you. I think it's a great app. I think they are really well. It's really well made, really well thought out. It's better than Apple Passwords, no question, as far as features are concerned. But I think people are to the point now they can get by with Apple Passwords, whereas before perhaps they could not because it was limited in features. But now Apple started to improve that, build it up. The fact that they even have a dedicated passwords because it's built on keychain. So I mean, previously they didn't have a passwords app technically. So now they have a passwords app and they're improving it year over year. So yeah, I think
the more and more I like log into different platforms or portals or whatever, I'm using just passkeys. It makes everything so much easier.
Oh, by far,
so much easier.
Passkeys are yeah.
So shout out to Apple keeping it native because I do like the passwords app, and that's the one that I use mostly. So
yep. Well, that's pretty much it, man. Like as far as
next week is the big week.
Yes.
That's what we really got to gear up for. This is the calm before the storm. You can hear the wind blowing.
Yeah.
Tim Cook actually released you see that little tweet that he put out?
I did.
Yeah, it's like a 6-second video. It looks like we're going to get new MacBooks, man. That looks like a MacBook that he's put an Apple logo on, He's like wiping it away, fixing it up. So let's see exactly what that ends up looking like. I'm excited for it, though.
I am as well, yeah. I'm excited to see it. I don't know if I'm going to get one necessarily, but I'm excited for just the idea of a budget MacBook. It's very, very cool. At the very beginning, we did mention we have a new email address, overtime@9to5mac.com, and we already have our first submission, our first question.
Go.
So shout out to Ariel. Ariel.
Shout out, Ariel.
How do you pronounce that last name, Fernando? I can't.
Is it, what is it? Let me see.
Cosme?
It is? Cosme?
Cosme?
I wonder where she's from. Cosme?
It could be a guy as well, I guess.
It could be a guy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
One of those names that are really cool. Like you can do either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it says, "Hi, Jeff and Fernando!" ! My question is, do you guys have a top favorite subscription that you can't go without? Thanks. Keep the podcast coming. Dolphin logo.
Ooh, love to see it. Fins up. Let me see. Subscriptions that I wouldn't want to give up. Can I go with one for one fun one or one content consumption one and then one like worky related one? That's what I'm gonna kind of go with.
Sure.
I'm gonna get some heat in the comments and probably from you as well. But Peacock TV has been like one of the sleepers that I honestly can't live without because of the shows that I like to watch. They're all on there. The Office, Modern Family, Parks and Rec. There is a fourth one that I'm missing that's in my rotation. And then some new ones that are kind of like in that same realm where they're like kind of funny but awkward. They're like 25-minute shows. You can watch them while you're falling asleep, And Peacock just has a lot of good stuff in my opinion.
Yeah.
For my content consumption subscription.
I just wouldn't watch that just for the name alone, just off principle. Like, it just sounds stupid. Like, what?
It does.
You couldn't have come up with a better name than that. You couldn't have come up with a better name than Peacock TV.
And it's one of the few that I pay for that I pay for the no ad version. That's how much I like it. That's when because I have like Hulu with ads. I got everything else with ads, but Peacock, I'm splurging. And I'm
okay.
No ads.
Alrighty. All right. So for me, Apple Music. That would be the one thing that I could not. I don't think I would cancel everything else if it meant being able to keep Apple Music.
Dang, I didn't even think about music. What a call.
I don't know. Yeah, it's such a, I mean, it's something that I use every single day, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't go a day without using Apple Music. So that's
so true.
That's a very easy answer for me, as regard to my like entertainment one. So what about your like business one?
Like a work related one?
Yeah.
Would it be ChatGPT or would it be Twitter?
Ugh.
I mean, I hate to say it, but
okay.
I hate to say it, but I guess in the same light where it's like, I mean, I use both of them every day. I'm gonna go with ChatGPT. My ChatGPT subscription, I can't live without because it's kind of like replaced Google for me. I recently like had to change my credit card on it, so I went to like the free mode, and I ran out of like memory immediately. Like they really throttle it down on you when you have the free mode. So yeah, I'm gonna go with ChatGPT just because I use it so often. It's my research tool. I use it for work, for personal stuff, to ask random questions. It's my new Google. It's conversational. It's replaced Siri for me on my phone, which isn't a hard thing to do. But yeah, I'm gonna go with ChatGPT as like the non like content consumption one.
I would also go with ChatGPT. Yeah, I've seen, like I texted you the other day or yesterday or whenever that I've seen the light now. Like, it is very helpful. Like I don't know. Right? I guess it just took a while for my brain to like grasp why this is so helpful. But now that I've realized it, first of all, it is amazing for coding. Like I've been using Codex with Xcode 26.3. Beta, and it is absolutely amazing. Like it's like cool, my mind has been blown. I've made like 2 or 3 apps, like full apps that I use just personally for things that I need that don't exist, that I've brought to fruition, things that I brought. I did not.
You did it. You were pushing buttons.
I was.
And you're learning along the way.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's a stretch to say that I made these apps. But man, it is just powerful. Like it's really, it feels almost like Tony Starkish, like Jarvis, but on a computer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, what app do you need? Like it's almost to the point where I feel like there's no app or there's no like tool or utility that I can't make things to this. You know what I mean?
You can eventually like massage it to the way that you want it to be. Right?
Yeah. Which
is, again, I've said like ChatGPT has been, that Jarvis analogy is like perfect. It's like, and then you kind of like trial and error with it and you use natural language and let ChatGPT do like what it needs to do to get it done like from a technical standpoint. So yeah, it's pretty incredible how good it is. And I've been even like, I used it yesterday. My daughter got a Rubik's Cube. I took a picture of the Rubik's Cube that we were doing and I was like, all right, I forget how to do this. I used to be able to do this. How do I figure this out? And it just like taught me how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I could have gone to Google to figure it out, but I just like took a picture of it and knew exactly like where I was in my state of the Rubik's Cube, and just helped me solve it really quickly, which is wild, you know. Yeah, and you haven't even played with like the video call feature, which is insane.
Yeah, I haven't. There's a lot that I haven't done. I actually was thinking about doing some videos on it, but one of the cool things I like about it is just like it's like, for instance, I took a screenshot of my index from Final Cut Pro, the timeline index, and it just basically has like titles and then it has the timestamp. I took a picture of that, I threw it in ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, give me chapter markers for YouTube, format it for these. And it just took that image and it just made the chapter markers. And it's like stuff like that. Or even the other day, I took like a huge list of numbers for some project I'm working on. And it's like 6 digits. So it's like from 100,000 to 999,000, right? Yeah. And I'm like, all right, tell me all the numbers in here that aren't on this list and order them sequentially. So it analyzed the numbers that were there and it was able to tell me what numbers weren't there and then create a list for me. That would have taken a while to
So
do
long.
by hand. like I'm sure there's some kind of procedural way I could have figured that out, but I didn't even have to think about that. That's the cool thing about it. That saved a lot of time. So stuff like that. Yeah.
No, agreed. And just being able to like take a screenshot to like let you know, like when I was doing my taxes, I took a screenshot of like the spot that I was in. It was like, what do you recommend? Like, should I click yes? Should I click no? And it would tell me like what it means to click yes and what it means to press no, you know?
Yeah.
It's like little things like that. So it's useful in so many aspects of your life.
Yeah, it's just like breaking those barriers down to where it's almost like kind of like YouTube in a sense that like with YouTube, it gives you confidence that you can do a lot of different things that you may not have had confidence that you could do. Like for instance, how to reinstall or to, I don't know, change a spark plug. Maybe you're just not comfortable doing that. Well, what do? You go to YouTube, like how do I change a spark plug? You put the model of your car in and somebody's has done it, right? Mm-hmm. This is on like that kind of level, but different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it gives you confidence that you can do things, but here it's almost to another level because it's
very specific to what you want.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say most times, always got to spot check it, but like most times it gets you the answer or the explanation that you want.
Or get you close.
Walk through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. So that would be my choice as well. So that was an awesome question for our first one. Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate that. Keep them coming, folks. Overtime at 9to5mac.com.
Yeah, we'll showcase as many as we can at the end of the video, you know, at the end of the podcast. But that'll do it. I mean, we got a big week next week, and get subscribed, follow along. We'll see what we pick up, what we review, our impressions of it. I'm excited.
Awesome, man.
Well, finally.
Yeah, finally. That's definitely warranted. We will catch you guys next week.
Let's do it.
See
Peace,
ya.
everyone.